I think leadership is about having a vision and then bringing people with you to achieve that vision and ultimately just to make things better. I'm Lynn Jeffers, and I was president of the American Society of Plastic Surgeons for the term 2019 to 2020. We came out to California for him to start his practice, and he was really just an inspiration. Being an immigrant, coming here and just working as hard as he did, even though we didn't see him a lot, just knowing the people that he was helping. So when I was younger, I would go and round with him in the hospital. And, just the patients that were so thankful. I mean, we literally, in those days, we would get oranges and chickens sometimes because, other people couldn't pay. And it was a real inspiration for one of the reasons why I decided to become a doctor. One of the things that my mom said, which was very healthy, I think, in retrospect, was that, don't try to be the best because you can never be the best, right? There's always going to be someone better than you in whatever it is you think that you're the best in. But what you want to do is try to do your best. Do the best that you can in whatever it is you're trying to do. That if it's worth doing, then try to do the best that you can in it. I know that when I try to do something, I want to leave it better than it was. I'm not trying to find a position or find recognition. It's more of like, what can I do to make this thing better? How can I leave something better than I found it? I think that's really important. I think there's recently been a lot of focus about finding your why, but it really does come down to, if you do understand it, then it becomes an internal thing. It's true in leadership as well. If you just tell people to do things because you either have the authority or because you're going to make them because there's some rule, that really is not, you can get people to do it, but at the end of the day, it's much more effective and honestly a lot better and a lot more fun if people understand why and want to do it. You inspire people to do it, they'll do a lot more than just something because it's a rule or because they have to. I knew I wanted to do surgery. I'd tried everything else. But what was really intriguing to me about plastic surgery was it was about creation. It was about creating things and building things. And probably the first time that I really, really saw that was I was doing a research project, and one of my mentors was a plastic surgeon. And I was an undergraduate at the time. And he said to me, "Why don't you come? I'm doing a pretty cool case on Friday, so why don't you come and watch it?" And I said, okay. So I show up, and what they were doing was creating a brand new ear, carving it out of this kid's rib because she had been born without one. And I thought, that is amazing. I want to be able to do that, So my diagnosis of breast cancer happened probably in one of the busiest times of my life, ironically. So I had just started an MBA program. I was in leadership at ASPS, about to be president-elect. I was just started my chief medical officer position at my hospital. It was the first chief medical officer of that hospital. And then, of course, still trying to do my practice all at the same time. So, it's never a good time to get breast cancer, of course, but that was particularly a bad time to get breast cancer. But I think that it was a good thing that I kept working, at least for myself, for the type of person that I am, just to put some sort of structure and normalcy to the process and the time. And honestly, it was just like, I can do this, but I don't think that I set out to make any statement. It just happened. Not all leaders are the stereotypical leader that you think about who are all out there. I mean, there are some really amazing leaders that are what people say, well, but I'm quiet or I'm whatever. It's like, there's so many amazing leaders. There's different types of leaders, and what you can facilitate is different. The key would be that you know what your strengths are. That's number one. To be a good leader, you have to know yourself and figure out what your strengths are and what are the things that you really don't do well or probably would rather not do. And those are the things that you need to make sure your team can take care of. Right? And you can't really do that unless you start to recognize what are the things that you really don't do as well as some of your other strengths. And so creating a great team is really important. But also part of creating that team is also then mentoring that team's not right, but I think leaders have to set the culture and set the atmosphere. And in my case, my type of leadership is really relationship based, and it's really about being transparent and about communication and respecting what people bring to the table. So not everyone's leadership style is that way. I think leadership is about having a vision and then bringing people with you to achieve that vision and ultimately to make things better.